Welcome to Tour Tuesday, everybody. It's so good to see you. It feels like a minute since our last Tour Tuesday. It's been a month.
Yes.
So happy April.
Yeah. Same to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Here we are. We have a busy night to show you, to tell you about. We've got four fabulous tours. We're going to talk about our Quebec City and Montreal, and we have our special guest tour director here, our expert on Quebec City and Montreal, and that is Penny Rudolph. Wave hi to Penny.
Hey. Yay. Hi, everybody.
And then we're going to be talking about our Chicago, Illinois trip, and we have Mr. Gene Gray here to talk to us about that. There he is. He's not in the Grand Canyon. He might seem like he is, but he's not. That's his second favorite place other than Chicago. Right. Just kidding. I don't really know. Don't answer that question. Nope. And then we have Jane Estes here to talk about Niagara Falls and Niagara Falls in Toronto. So yay, Jane's here. So the four of us are your hosts for this evening. And we'll just kick it right off. But I do want to introduce myself and some other important guests. If you don't know me, my name is Sandy Borowski. I am the third generation owner of Starr Tours, and I'm very pleased to be here with you today. My responsibility is the tour division, of which we are here to talk about tours. I've got lots of Starr faces that you may recognize. Kathy Gillespie, go ahead and write in the pink. There she is. She's one of our tour directors. I've got Betty Barr, another tour director. She's waving now. Let's see. I have Deborah Ayers. Wave to the camera, Deborah. There she is. You may recognize her voice and not as much her face, but that is her in the flesh. Now, see, you recognize her voice, I'm sure. We have Evie Simon there in turquoise. She's waving. And Ann Anderson, I see her. She's waving. Let's see. We have another travel advisor. We can't see her face, but Jennifer Goldstein, our newest travel advisor. Oh, there she is. She's waving.
Yay, Jen.
This is her first Tour Tuesday. So
hi, everyone.
And we have Cameron Cooper, one of our new, well, I guess, let's see, Jen and Cameron are both our newest Starr employees. So Cameron's listening. He's not on camera right now. Oh, there he is. He's waving. Hi, Cameron.
Hi, Cameron.
So lots of faces and voices that you might recognize. So we are going to jump right in, and I'm going to share my screen with you. And here we are. We're going to welcome to Tour Tuesday. As I said, we'll be talking about Quebec City and Montreal, Chicago and Niagara Falls, as well as Niagara Falls and Toronto. And today is April 5th. So just a beautiful shot of Quebec City, an absolute fantastic destination. So again, this is our first tour, Quebec City and Montreal. We have 3 departures for you to choose from. These are 6-day trips. We have a July 10th departure, an August 7th departure, and a September 11th departure. So summer, early fall, whatever floats your boat, makes you happy, we can take you to Quebec City and Montreal and show you these 2 fabulous cities. So you can see the price per person there. And this trip includes 5 breakfasts. So I am going to let Penny take it away.
Hi, everybody. I'm so glad you can join us for our Tour Tuesday. And I am so very happy that we are able to get up to Canada. It's been a couple of long years. And I must say, in my 36 years of working with Starr, my 2 favorite cities in all of North America are definitely Quebec City and Montreal. And I am so happy to be able to go back there. So on day 1, we will travel up to the city. We'll have a rest stop, of course, stop in the Albany area, have lunch, stop at the border. We'll go through customs. And once we clear customs, And I understand that not only do you need your passport or your passport card, but you also have to show your proof of vaccine as of now. Once we clear, it's within the hour we will be at the hotel. And the hotel we stay in is the Best Western Ville Marie. It is a boutique hotel. It is quiet. There's maybe 9 rooms on every floor. It is charming. It is lovely. They have a great restaurant, Italian restaurant. They also have a little cafe there, and the staff there is just lovely. And it's located on the Golden Mile. The Golden Mile is equivalent to New York City, where all of the shops, all the fancy places are. And not only a restaurant in the hotel, walking distance to many, many restaurants. So on day 2, we will wake up, we'll have our breakfast at the hotel included, and we will have a 3-hour guided sightseeing tour. And our tour will include many of the beautiful areas in the city. The city of Montreal is so diverse, so beautiful, so charming, very modern, and it's a city of neighborhoods. We will tour the city, we'll go to the top of the mountain. Many people don't know Montreal is actually an island in the St. Lawrence and the Ottawa River. And we will go throughout the city, we'll go to the top of the mountain where they have Beaver Lake, and we'll be able to have a stop and take pictures of a beautiful vantage point of the city below. We will travel around to the underground. We actually will stop and take you down into the well-known underground in Montreal, walk through it some ways so you can see the metro system, the shops, the restaurants. Then we'll travel down to the old city. We'll go past Notre Dame Basilica, and we will give you time to have lunch and shopping, walk around the beautiful old Montreal that dates back to the 1600s. After we leave there, you'll have time to freshen up, relax a little bit at the hotel. And then you can see the picture at the bottom there. That is the Casino of Montreal. And it is the largest casino in all of Montreal. And it's actually the French pavilion from the old 1967 expo that they had there, Man in His World. I was actually there in 67 when, and it's always a joy to go back there. It has great restaurants. They have a food court. They have, even though it's the largest, it's very cozy. We do get a little package there, and we're there for a few hours. It's really a delight, and at nighttime, beautiful views of the city. So the next morning, we will wake up, have breakfast, and then we are going to check out and travel to the city of Quebec. Quebec City is the capital of the province of Quebec. And it's about a 2.5-hour ride. We will make a rest stop, so by the time you get there, you don't have to go running to the bathroom. We will stop there inside the gates. Now, Quebec City is a World Heritage Site protected by UNESCO, and it is a beautiful, beautiful, charming city, and it's the only walled city north of Mexico City in North America. So you'll have time for lunch and shopping, basically lunch, a couple of hours. We drop you off at the Chateau Frontenac, several restaurants in the area, and then we'll pick you up, get our local guide, and our local guide, who is English speaking, will take us all around the city, in the old city, out of the old city, the Joan of Arc Gardens, the Plains of Abraham. We'll go to the lower city, and we'll actually, at the end of our tour, we'll walk all through the lower town, the cobblestone streets that date back to the 1600s, and it is absolutely breathtakingly beautiful, romantic. Everybody falls in love with the old town. So once we drop off our guide, we will head to our hotel, the Chateau Laurier. And the Chateau Laurier is one of the historic hotels of Quebec. And it is a family-owned hotel. It has a restaurant, it has a lounge, a bar area, it has a convenience store, it has a saltwater pool, it has a lounge area. It is located right on the Grand Allée, and along the Grand Allée, there are about 20 restaurants where you can either eat in the hotel or anywhere along the Grand Allée, and it's 1 block into the walled city. So you'll have that evening free. And on day 4, after our breakfast, we'll travel along the Beaupré coast to St. Anne. And you can see in the first picture is the Shrine of St. Anne. We will have a guided tour throughout there. It is absolutely breathtaking inside. There have been many, many miracles that have occurred there, and you'll hear all about there. And you may remember in the 60s at the World's Fair in New York, they had the Pieta. It came from Italy. Well, they have one of the Pietas there at St. Anne. You have a chance to see that, an opportunity. Once we leave there, we'll stop at Montmorency Falls. Montmorency Falls are higher than Niagara Falls, and we stop there and you walk all along the walkway at the bottom of the falls. You see the grandeur, take beautiful pictures. And after we leave there, we'll be heading back to the city, and we get back like around 1:30, 2 o'clock the very latest. You will have all afternoon and all evening on your own in Quebec City. Lots of things to do, lots of things, and your tour directors will help you to give you ideas of what to do, where to go. You'll have a great, great time there. So the next morning on day 5, after we wake up, we will travel back to the border, and we'll have a rest stop on the way. And once we clear through customs, we'll stop for lunch. And after our lunch, we will head down to the Lake George area, where we will stop for about an hour so you can walk around the lake, see a little bit. It's a beautiful lake, beautiful area. And then we'll go down to Queensbury, to the Queensbury Hotel. Again, another historic inn, beautiful, great architecture. And they will have a wine and cheese reception for us. They have a restaurant and a bistro within the hotel, but several restaurants also within walking distance. So you're on the own for the evening. The next morning, day 6, after breakfast at the Queensbury Hotel, we'll travel down to Albany, about an hour and a half away, and we'll have a great tour of the Capitol, and you'll see it there. It is absolutely beautiful. The carvings, the sandstone, the work that is done, and this is all done in the 1800s, pre-taxes, and so much money went into that. It is breathtaking. After that, we'll get in the coach and we'll head south down through New York State. We'll stop for lunch, and then we'll get back to our final destinations. This is an absolutely wonderful 6-day tour. I highly recommend it. You'll come back with wonderful memories, and we've had many, many people that will do this tour again because they want to pick up where they left off. A great tour.
Excellent. It definitely makes me want to go, for sure.
Come with.
I'd like to. This is a great time for you all to ask Penny your questions. What did you come here to learn? Is there anything that Penny didn't cover that we can still cover for you? Any specific questions? We can talk about the crossing the border. We'll do that after we talk about Niagara as well. We could talk about the ArriveCan app if you have any questions about that.
Can I add anything about the Quebec Winter Carnival?
Yes, of course.
All right. One of my favorite tours is the Quebec Winter Carnival. And the people say, Winter Carnival, February, it's cold. It is an absolutely most beautiful, magical winter wonderland you could imagine. And if you dress appropriately, it is fine. We stay in Montreal the first night, same hotel, go to Quebec, stay in the same hotel. But the Quebec Winter Carnival is French Mardi Gras. And they have a festival that goes on for 14 days. They have a mascot, Bonhomme. He's this great big snowman. He comes into town with a big parade, like our Mummers Parade. And it goes right past our hotel. It is fun, festivities, activities, snow tubing, sleigh rides, anything you could possibly imagine. It is so much fun. And we actually go to a sugar shack. We have lunch and singing, and we learn Quebec dances. We go to the Ice Hotel. There's only one in North America, and we tour the 40-some rooms. We have drinks in the Ice Hotel in the bar area. It is breathtakingly beautiful. And if you're ever on tour with me, you want to see pictures, I will be more than happy to share them with you. Great thing to do, something different in the wintertime.
Excellent. And I believe we did a tour Tuesday on Quebec Winter Carnival. Didn't we, Penny?
I don't think so.
All right, well, I'll have to put that
We
on
have
our
to
list.
do that.
We do
And
have
I'll
to
do
do that. I know. She'll
I
be
have to
back.
do it.
This is just to whet your appetite. Then we'll have to plan
Right.
another tour Tuesday for Quebec Winter Carnival. All right. If nobody has any questions, we are going to shift gears to Chicago, Chi-Town. Chicago highlights July 9th through 15th. 7 days. This is a 7-day trip, which is terrific. You can see the pricing there. And there's eight meals included, 6 breakfasts and 2 dinners. So with that, I am going to let Jean take it from here.
Thank you, Sandy, and welcome everybody to Chicago, Chicago. That's all the singing you'll ever hear from me. Chicago is one thing, a couple of things about Chicago I'd like to mention. First, they have like 3 very famous foods, and one is the Chicago hot dog. And if you order a hot dog someplace for lunch, for example, you want to get it dragged through the garden. That's quote unquote, because that includes tomatoes and peppers and onions and mustards and pickles and relish on a poppy seed bun, but no ketchup. No ketchup on hot dogs. That's not a Chicago thing. The second main meal that we, you want to maybe try, and in fact, you all will have the opportunity to try, is a famous Chicago deep dish pizza. And our one of our meals, and I'll get into that dinner at Gino's a little bit later on, you will have that opportunity to try that deep dish pizza. And I just say, have an open mind. When in Rome, do as, you know what that expression is. It's actually very good once you get into it, but you can't compare. Nothing like ours. Never mind, I'll keep going. And
I have never met a pizza I didn't like, so there's room in my belly for lots of different pizzas.
that's true. I really enjoy the deep dish pizza too. The Italian beef is the third, and that's thinly sliced roast beef. I hope you all had dinner, or else you're going to leave me and go eat right now. Topped with a mix of vegetables, preserved in oil. It's Chicago's version of their Philly cheesesteak. So those are 3 things you might want to try for dinner. Now I'll get to the trip. The first day is basically travel. We want to get out west. So we travel, we do stop for lunch midway, and we continue on to Independence, Ohio for an overnight hotel at the Doubletree Hotel in Independence. And that's only like 10-minute ride, I want to say, from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which on day 2, we get up and we go directly to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. One of my favorite places in the country, one of my favorite museums. Go down to the lowest level to, you start off at the basement, and that's where most of the exhibits are, and you work your way up. And it's absolutely tremendous. We have a 3-hour, approximately a 2.5 to 3 hour time frame for that museum, which is enough time to really get a good taste of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Lunch is on your own at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They have a snack bar with sandwiches, hot dogs, and different things like that. attached to it. And then in the afternoon, we travel probably 4 hours or so. We do change our clocks 1 hour behind. So we're now on Central Time. So we gain an hour and we arrive 4 hours later, which would have been 5 hours, into Chicago. And we're staying at the Hampton Inn, Chicago downtown, which is, Penny, what was yours? The Golden Mile in?
Yeah, the Golden Mile.
The Golden, well, we're now on the Magnificent Mile. So we're competing with our miles. So the Magnificent Mile in Chicago is one of their main streets, similar to Broadway in New York. And our hotel is 1 block off the Magnificent Mile with dozens and dozens of restaurants, easy to get to, and I'll have a list of those for you. And our hotel is right there, as I said. Day 2, dinner is on your own. Day 3, we're up bright and early and we have a full day again. We go to the Field Museum, which is like the Museum of Natural History. It is absolutely fantastic. They have the dinosaurs there. They have ancient, great exhibits of rocks and gemstones that, you know, glisten when you see them. They sparkle. They have all kinds of you know, natural history treats in that museum. It's really a wonderful experience. It's a 2-level museum. They have one section also with all the animals in the area in the Midwest. And of course, it's not a zoo, so they're stuffed and behind glass, but you'll get the idea. And it's really terrific. We travel back to our hotel after that on day 3, and we have lunch on our own near our hotel on the Magnificent Mile. And that's on your own. And then we hop on a trolley tour. And this trolley tour takes you all around Chicago, takes you to the south side of Chicago, where we'll actually get off at Wrigley Field and you'll be able to snap a picture there. Maybe, you know, it is a game day, so we'll see how the traffic is, but the game's not until late at night, until nighttime, not late, but nighttime. And also you travel through all the different neighborhoods of Chicago. You get a really good flair for that magnificent city, its diversity, its uniqueness, and it's a great guided trolley tour. And after that, we have the trolley lets us off at the Chicago Navy Pier. The Chicago Navy Pier is an institution in itself. It has many, many restaurants, including Billy Goat's Tavern and Grill. I think that's from a TV show. Seinfeld, was it? Billy Goat's Tavern? It's one of them, I think.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I vaguely remember somebody telling me that. I didn't know it. They have Harry Carey's Tavern, and I've eaten in there a few times. And Harry Carey, of course, was he passed away a few years ago, but the great and iconic announcer for the Chicago Cubs, who would sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" every 7th inning of every game and have the whole stadium singing with them. They have a Jimmy Buffett's Margaritaville. And then if you wanted faster food, they have the McDonald's and the Chinese Express and chicken restaurant and lots of other restaurants as well. And that's the Navy Pier. Now, there's also lots of shopping. That's a great place to get your Chicago souvenirs and books and t-shirts, whatever you like as well. And then we walk back, and we don't have the bus pick us up. So we walk back, or you can take an Uber or a cab back. There are taxis waiting for people at the Navy Pier. I'd say it's about a 20-minute walk back at a moderate pace to walk back to the hotel. So that's one thing I want you to know about the Chicago trip is There is a bit of walking, but you can avoid that with any public transportation. All right, day 4, we once again get up early and we go to the beautiful Botanic Gardens. We start off by taking a tram ride all around the perimeter and getting our feet wet in that beautiful area. And then afterwards, we have a couple of hours to explore those areas that we learned about. Everybody gets a map, and you can follow your nose. You can do as much or as little as you want. It is absolutely unique. They have it set so that you can actually walk on these different islands. They have bridges to the different islands, and each island has different plants and different themes. And it's absolutely a magnificent garden, the Botanic Garden in Chicago. And then we dropped off on the Magnificent Mile by our bus after that. And then you have the rest of the day on your own. And what's neat about that is you might want to go explore lots of things in Chicago. You might want to go down to the theater district and walk around. You might want to get show tickets. You might want to take another like a ghost tour of Chicago, or a gangster tour of Chicago. They have a few of those that I can recommend to you. They have you can just go from place to place shopping. They have many malls along the Magnificent Mile and shops, and it's just a fun place just to walk and hang out. If at night, as I mentioned earlier, you might want to, in advance, get tickets to the Chicago Cubs and Baltimore Orioles game, which begins at 8 p.m. Chicago time. So it'll be a rather late night, and transportation is fairly simple. What you do is you catch the L train that goes from a block from the Magnificent Mile to the stadium, hop on the train, go back to that same block on your way home. And you might, it's always a bucket list item to see a game at Wrigley. But the time on your own at Chicago is really, it's up to you. You get, a dozen ideas of what to do, and you can do anything or just relax and take it easy. So that's day 4 of Chicago. Day 5, we get up and we go to the sky deck. That's in the Willis Tower, and used to be the Sears Tower, the highest building in Chicago. They have the sky deck is on the 102nd floor, and you actually get to walk out onto the ledge. The ledge is exciting. You see a picture of it in the upper left there. You actually walk out there and you can look right down. It's not for the faint of heart. I always have about 20% of my passengers who say, I can't do that, I can't do that. I said, well, try it. And some try it and some just don't do it. But about 85% do it and have a really fun time. And you can get some awesome photos there. Another thing about the sky deck, the Willis Tower, is 2 years ago, they finished the museum down in the, you actually have to go down to the basement of the Willis Tower, and that's where the tour starts. And there's a whole museum down there, which is so magnificent. And you can, take your time going through that museum, and then you go up to the 100, and that leads you right to the elevator. You go up to the 102nd floor, go on to the ledge, and then we go down, and then we meet at the, on the bottom of the Willis Tower after that, and go back towards our hotel for lunch. But I also wanted to say that when you get down from the Willis Tower, right on the corner of the Willis Tower and where we meet our bus is the beginning of Route 66. It's a sign. So Chicago was the beginning of Route 66, and it goes all the way to California. So a lot of passengers love to take their picture under the sign that says begin Route 66. Then we go back and we have lunch on the Magnificent Mile. That's on your own. I give you some hints for a quick lunch because it's a quick turnaround. And we go on to our cruise of the Chicago River. And the cruise of the Chicago River, that's the Green River for St. Patrick's Day, the one and the same. They dye it green. They dyed it green about 3 weeks ago or 2 weeks ago for St. Patrick's Day, but it's not green when we get there. And we've done an architectural tour where they teach you about the architecture of Chicago, which is fascinating. The beautiful buildings along the river, and then then you go through a lock, just like the Panama Canal lock, and it takes you out into the Chicago River, which is a couple of feet. I think it's 10 feet higher than the actual Chicago River. So it's really pretty cool. As you get into the lock, they close it up and then you see yourself drifting up, and then you go out to the Chicago River. So it's almost like going through the Panama Canal, but it's in Chicago. And then at night on our 5th day, tough day, great day, we have our dinner at Geno's East, which is where you'll be served your deep crust, your Chicago deep crust pizza and other items that are uniquely Chicago. Geno's East is a wonderful restaurant, wonderful servers, and you should be able to get that deep dish pizza, which has a thick crust, and you should enjoy. You can also get regular pizza with a thin crust as well, but I highly recommend you try that deep crust pizza. Day 6, we're up bright and early. We change our clock, so we lose another hour. We lose an hour this time, and we travel to Pittsburgh. And we get to Pittsburgh in time for to check into our hotel at the DoubleTree Pittsburgh. Very nice hotel. And then we go down to we actually have dinner at the Grand Concourse restaurant in Pittsburgh. The Grand Concourse was a train stop. It's still like, it's almost like a Grand Central, which like in New York, a Grand Central where they've changed it into a restaurant. And it's a wonderful, great food, wonderful place to eat and to chat and, just enjoy our last full night on our trip. And then day 7, we check out and we go to, and we don't leave right away. We do a few little sightseeing things in Pittsburgh, the Nationality Rooms, which represent and celebrate the culture and diversity of the different communities of Pittsburgh. And it's part of the university, and it's used for university classrooms in Pittsburgh to teach people about the uniqueness of the people of Pittsburgh. So we'll get to enjoy that. Unfortunately, last year when I went on the trip, they weren't accepting people due to COVID, and then this year is a different story. So, and then we may do 1 or 2 other quick sites in Pittsburgh before we head out and travel home. And it's a wonderful 7 days. I'm real excited to do it once again, and glad to have many of you with me.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Gene. It really is a terrific trip with lots and lots in it. You really get to see Chicago. You'll leave feeling like Chicago. And Gene has, I don't know, have you lost count of how many times you've been to Chicago?
I know on each of the cross-country trips we stopped there. So that's at least 4, 5, 6. This will be 7 or 8.
Wow. Excellent.
I fell in love with the city. It's absolutely a beautiful city. And, it's a toddling town, it's you can sing Sinatra there, a few songs, and it's great. It's really great.
Sounds awesome. And you did the research to see that there's a baseball game, a Cubbies game, one of the nights you're there?
Yes. The last year when we went, it was during the All-Star game. So there was no baseball, but I checked the White Sox and Cubs before the Zoom, and the Cubbies have a game there at 8 o'clock on the 12th. That's our That's our Tuesday where we have a lot of free time, and that's the only day that I would recommend going. We missed the Mets by 2 days. The Mets come into Chicago 2 days later, but the Orioles are okay.
I will tell you, there's 30 people already booked on this trip. So don't despair, don't wait, don't delay if you want to book this trip, because it likely will sell out. It usually does or gets close to it. So again, July 9th through 15th for the Chicago trip. So anybody have any questions for Jean? You guys.
No, but I have a comment. It's Deborah. Customers absolutely love this trip when they get back. Yeah, Jean, you've been doing this the last several years, but people absolutely love the tour. I can't say enough about how passionate people are about the diversity of the city, places to eat. Of course, Jean, you let them know where to eat, but all the history and architecture. So it's a great trip. And if you haven't done it yet, please join us.
Awesome. Excellent. All right, we go up. Joyce, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just wondering, is the Chicago Institute in that area also, the Art Institute?
Yes, it's only about 2 blocks from the hotel.
Oh, wow, nice.
Again, I'm not sure they're not open to the public on many days, so it was tricky. It's tricky, and the last year when I was there, they weren't allowing people into it yet. But yeah, we're in the center of the city. We're in the center of downtown, and the Art Institute is real close to it. Yes.
Oh, good, okay.
Joyce, give me a call. It's Deb, and we can check it out together. Okay, honey?
Okay, Deb.
Actually, the Art Institute, it's actually the Museum of Contemporary Art is its official title. Is that the one that you mean?
It sounds like it. I know it was close by where I was when I was there 100 years ago. But I thought,
that's only 2 blocks from our hotel.
Oh, okay. I think it's the same one though. Yeah.
Art.
All right, any other questions for Jean? Excellent. We're going back to Canada. Do you like this? Hi, Canada. Then I went to US, Chicago. Now we're going back to Canada. And it's Jane's turn. Jane's turn. All right. So let me share my screen again. We're going to Niagara Falls. We're going a lot to Niagara Falls, actually. We have lots of different departure dates. This is one of our most popular tours. If you can't tell by the number of departures we have, we're going in June, we're going in July, we're going in August, we're going twice in September and at the beginning of October. So this covers everything from spring to summer to fall, anything that floats your boat. It's a great tour. It's 4 days. There's lots to do in the area. You'll have some time to do it. The prices for this tour are very reasonable. They are different. So if you go in June and September and October, you're going to pay a little bit less because the hotel rates are a little bit lower. They call that, more shoulder season. And if you go in the height of the summer, obviously the hotel charges a little bit more and the prices are higher. So if you want to save a little bit of money, you'll go June, September, and October. But if you have to go, maybe you're a teacher or you want to take the family, in July and August is the time for you. You'll likely have great weather. So you just note that the prices are different. There is breakfast included each day on this trip. And again, you will be traveling into Canada. So you will need a valid passport or a passport card. You will need proof of COVID vaccination. So if you are not vaccinated, we do have a different Niagara tour for you. It's called Niagara USA, and it stays on the US side. So if you don't have a passport or you're not vaccinated, you can stay in the US. But if you want to go to Canada, you will have to have this Arrive Can app on your phone. And we'll talk more, in detail as we get closer to these trips, because of course everything can change. But right now the requirement is that you have to input your information into this Arrive Can app within 72 hours of arriving into Canada. So I will turn it over at this point to Jane Estes, who's been to Niagara Falls. I don't even know how many times. I'm sure she doesn't even know, but a lot.
I don't. And one of the reasons why is my husband was born and raised in Niagara Falls, New York. So we would frequently go up there to visit family and everything, as well as the tours I've done for Starr. And this has always been one of my favorite trips. No matter how many times I go there, when I walk to Table Rock and stand at the edge where you're as close as you can get to the falls, it takes my breath away. Truly, it is just magnificent. So to go over the itinerary quickly, the first day is the travel day. We'll make a rest break in the morning. We'll stop for lunch, usually somewhere around Binghamton, New York. Then we have to clear customs as we go into Canada, and we arrive at our hotel. We'll be staying at the same hotel all 3 nights, and it is the Country Inn and Suites by Radisson. And one of the best things about this hotel is its location. It is literally just blocks from the fall. It is 1 block over to the back door of the closest casino, if that's one of the things that interest you. It is close to many of the nicest restaurants. So the location really couldn't be better. During the summertime, on weekends, they have, the falls are usually illuminated at night, but they also have fireworks over the falls on specific nights. And we can actually see it from standing out in front of our hotel. So that's how great the location is for us. The hotel has really nice amenities, an indoor pool, hot tub, 24-hour fitness center. My way of getting fitness in Canada is to walk up and down Clifton Hill. Clifton Hill is the street that will take us from the road that our hotel is on down to the falls. And when I say down, it is a hill, it is down. Now, if you are a walker, you're gonna love going down the hill. If you're not a walker, coming back up the hill, I've got a little secret for you to make it easier. You can go into the casino, to the front door of the casino, take the elevator upstairs, go out the back door, and you're right on the street where our hotel is located. So you're going to find your tour director is going to be able to give you some hints about getting around without coming back up that hill if it's a little too much for you. Clifton Hill is a bit like the boardwalk in New Jersey. It has a little bit of everything. It's got restaurants, and if you're looking for Canadian things, there's Tim Hortons donuts, and you can find poutine and other things that are specific to Canada. But you can also find Applebee's and a Hard Rock Cafe and all. So there's pretty much something for everyone as far as food, and you are on your own for dinner the first night. Going up on our ride up, since we do have a ride up, I've got a whole notebook filled with things, with information for you, with brochures from all of the attractions and things, and you can pick out what you want to do when you will have your own free time. Now, day 2, we're going to have a local person get on the coach with us and do a guided sightseeing tour of Niagara Falls. We're going to go up to, we'll go past both of the casinos, the Casino Niagara and the Falls View Casino. We'll ride up along the Niagara River. I'm going to go past Table Rock as part of our tour. We'll see where the Aero Car is, and this is a ride that if you want to go back later on your own, and you can actually cross over the whirlpool, they call it, where the Niagara River makes a turn, and it's a swirling river. It's one of the oldest attractions in Niagara. And my husband's kind of funny. He's never ridden on it. It has always scared him. I've been on it several times, and wonderful pictures.
Oh, you can. I've been on it. The pictures are fabulous.
So you'll go past what they call the floral clock. It is actually, they change the flowers according to the season, and this entire clock is made of flowers, and it actually keeps time. And we will stop there so you can get some photos. We'll go past the Butterfly Conservatory, which is something that you can come back and go to on your own if you'd like on your free time. And after we finish our guided tour in Niagara Falls, we're going to head over to Niagara on the Lake. Now, Niagara on the Lake, I always say, when I walk the streets there, you'd think you were in Europe. There are little tiny shops and bistros. You'll have free time for your lunch there. If you want to just shop and eat, you can. But if you'd like to do a little history, there's a very historic 18th century fort there. And for those of you interested in the Underground Railroad, there is a memorial to Harriet Tubman tucked away just a couple of blocks from the main drag. So lots to do there. I just love Niagara on the Lake. You really do feel like you're out of the country when you're in Canada and on Niagara on the Lake. We go back to our hotel at Niagara Falls. And on day 2, there is an optional dinner. If you want to sign up for it, there is an extra charge, but the bus will pick you up and take you there and also bring you back to the hotel. The Secret Garden is one of the few restaurants that is actually located down where you can see the falls from where you are eating. Now, some of the bigger hotels, the high-rise things, will have restaurants up there where you can see the falls too. But this is one of the ones that is closest. The food is quite good, and attached to the restaurant is one of the biggest gift shops for Niagara Falls. Things in Niagara Falls are a bit smaller, but they've got everything that you're looking for. And if you want to get around the next day when you have free time, the Secret Garden gift shop also sells tickets for the We Go. Now, the We Go is a bus that makes a loop all throughout the Niagara area. And for only about $10 a day for a ticket, you can ride everywhere you want. So you don't have to hire a cab or pay for an Uber or something. It's a very inexpensive way to get around on your own. So when we go to day 3, depending on the tour you sign for, there's going to be a couple different things. The June tour, we will not be doing the Hornblower cruise that you're looking at right now on the June tour only, because they don't start running yet. On the June tour, we're going to be doing the Journey Behind the Falls. And this is a sightseeing attraction where you literally go in behind the cascade of water. Can you see the picture on the far left where the gentleman's walking toward that gate? If you stick your hand out there, the Niagara Falls water will splash on you. That's how close you are to the falls. And notice that everybody is given the raincoats. You don't bring this with you. That comes with the tour. But it is truly the closest you will be to the fall. So it is a really amazing experience to go there. Now, if you go on the other tours, the other dates, July through October, you will be going on the Hornblower cruise. And this is a ship that will actually take you out as close to the falls as you can get on the water. Now, if you say, well, I'm going to go on those later cruises, but I don't want to get all wet. You don't have to get wet. They will give you the raincoats, and the people on the top deck are going to get wet. But I always tell people, if you look inside, there are plexiglass walls there, and they were there long before the pandemic, okay? Just stand behind the plexiglass, you have a wonderful view, and you're not going to get soaking wet. Some of the young kids just love to run out when they get off the boat, they're dripping wet. How do you get there? You have to go down either a funicular or an elevator. It is a little bit of walking down the ramps and everything, but it is downhill. The elevator will bring, or the funicular will bring you back up. So after you finish your boat ride in the morning, you're going to have the rest of the afternoon on your own, or the Journey Behind the Falls, whichever attraction you do. When we finish that, the rest of the day is on your own. And there is so much to do in Niagara Falls. As I mentioned, I have a book of things with advertisements for all of the things that go on up there. If you're a gambler and you like the casinos, there are 2 of them that you can choose between and spend some time there. The conservatory where the flowers are for the Canada Park system, just beautiful. You can walk through and see how they raise the different types of flowers and all that they use to decorate the area. The park area down along the falls is really quite beautiful. There's a bird exhibit. I mean, there's really something for everybody in Niagara Falls. It's very family friendly too in the summer. Think of it much like the Jersey Shore. You do see a lot of families at that time of year. So if you're somebody who says, well, I want to see Niagara Falls, but I really don't want to be there with a bunch of kids, I would recommend probably the spring or the fall once school reopens. But in the summertime, it's just a fun place to be. And I will help you figure out how you do things like the duty free. There's ways to avoid paying some of the Canadian taxes when you're shopping and all. And we'll talk about that on the bus on the way up. So make sure that you are well prepared to enjoy your time and bring home all those wonderful souvenirs that help the Canadian economy and then make you happy when you look at them later. So I hope you'll join me. I'm going to be working on several of the tours this year. So maybe our paths will cross, I hope.
Yes, Jane is escorting the first 3 departures. So the June 5th departure, the July 10th, and the August 21st. So the July 5th already has 26 people on it. So that one started, half full. July has 11 people. August doesn't have anybody on it yet. So you could be the first one booked on that trip. And then the September 11th departure, Lucille is escorting. The September 25th is Anne, and the October 2nd is Rick. And they all still have room for you to book. So that's the Niagara Falls 4-day tour. And we are going to now talk about the Niagara Falls and Toronto 5-day tour. So we have 2 departures for this trip. August 14th and September 18th. Again, it's 5 days. We're going across the border. The prices are different. Again, August is more of your high season. September is a little bit into the lower season. So that's why the prices differ. And there's 4 breakfasts or breakfast every morning on this trip. So Jane, I know it's not too terribly confusing, but let's talk about what the difference is between the Niagara and Toronto tour and the Niagara 4-day tour.
Well, basically the only difference is it's 1 day longer, of course. You have the 4 days for Niagara, and then you've got 5 days when you include Toronto. On the regular, you'll do the things that you do on the regular tour, of course, but you're going to travel up to Toronto on day 3. And this is a huge city. It has a beautiful skyline. It's a little bit of a drive from Niagara Falls. You'll be staying at the same hotel I mentioned, the Country Inn and Suites. You'll have admission to the CN Tower. And if you're looking at that picture on the right-hand side, see that tall, skinny thing with the center to it there? That's the CN Tower. The view from up there is spectacular. You really do see the entire city. You're going to have a guided tour of the city with a local guide who is going to take you through all of the different areas, the financial district, point out some of the really unusual buildings and architecture. This is a city that is growing faster than any city that I have seen recently. I was just stunned in just 2 years' time how much it had changed with the buildings going up. And because there's no room to spread out, they're going up. They're getting bigger and bigger. When you are at the CN Tower, for those of you who are sports fans, that plaza is adjacent to the Rogers Center, which is the home of the Toronto Blue Jays, if anybody's familiar with that. So you do have free time for your lunch and a little bit of time to go to the market to shop in the afternoon, and then you head back to the hotel. So the driving tour includes the Harborfront, Financial District, the Old City Hall, and the New City Hall. There's a very large Chinatown area, and here again, our guide will be telling you about different stories and things that have happened in there. The Theater District, you'll go through the Garment District area, and you'll also go on Yonge Street, which is the longest street in Canada. It really does run the whole way through the city and out. So, and you'll take a quick drive by ACC, which is the home of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Another little thing for those of you who are interested in these sports. I'm a history person, so you're looking at one of the pictures of Casa Loma, and that is one of the historic homes that's located in Toronto. And sometimes we've included that on our tours, but unfortunately, it's not actually included on this when we go to the CN Tower instead, but you will ride past it, get a chance to see it. So then the last day, basically we check out of our hotel, we have to go through customs to leave Canada, and then we head back home again. And we usually ride for a little bit, stop for a rest break, stop for our lunch somewhere in Binghamton or near the Pennsylvania border, just depending on traffic and timing. And then we take another rest break, and then hopefully we get you home on time. So that's our plan for the 5-day Toronto.
Sounds great. That sounds great. So we, again, we have the 2 dates for Niagara, Toronto, the August 14th, which Evie is escorting. She's on this call tonight. And then Andy is escorting the September 18th date. Any questions about Niagara Falls or Niagara, Toronto?
May I add something?
Of course.
The last time, which was a couple years ago, that I was on the Niagara Falls Toronto trip, one couple told me that they're not going to Toronto. And I said, what? Why are you on this one? They said they like Niagara Falls so much that they wanted an extra day in Niagara Falls. So that surprised me, but that's a really great idea. Book the 5-day
I've had that happen.
time.
Yeah, I've had that happen too, Evie, just a couple of times, but I have too. There's so much to do in Niagara Falls.
Yeah, there really is. I've taken my family there. We love it. We love it. Any other questions for Jane? You guys are such good listeners, such good listeners. I want to go back to the Quebec City and Montreal because we didn't go over the dates for that trip as far as who's escorting what. So Quebec City and Montreal is July 10th through 15th. That's Kathy Gillespie, and Kathy's there in the pink. And then August 7th is the trip that Penny is escorting. So Kathy's trip has 19 people on it already. Penny's has 27 on it. And then Rick is escorting the September 11th departure, and that has 21 people on it. So all those trips are just about close to half sold. So don't wait too long to book your Quebec trip, because those are two fabulous cities. We will help you get through that, setting up the app for the ArriveCan, getting across the border. You know, with things changing so regularly, I don't want you to worry about it. We might not be doing it in September or August or July, who knows? But we'll be sending you an email to let you know what you have to do to prepare to cross the border. Okay, and let you know what's going on with Canada's requirements. Deb, did you have something to say?
I did, and I'm sorry I didn't comment on this earlier. Quebec, Montreal, so many people love that tour because of the architecture, the feeling of being like, you know, in Europe, et cetera, et cetera. And they may not want to travel there or haven't traveled there. I mean, whenever somebody goes on that tour, Quebec, Montreal, and Quebec Carnival, I will add, those tours people love. And Niagara Falls, of course, is one of our most popular trips as well. So they're all great. People love them. Don't wait to book your seats unless you don't want where you're going to be sitting on the bus in the back.
Yeah, some people just think that it's okay to wait, but you never know when a trip is going to be sold out. And one departure might be sold out and one might not be. You just don't know. So we don't want to disappoint anybody. So
Penny's looking for you.
Yeah,
Penny.
I just said a number of people, I've done Quebec, Montreal for 36 years. And, you know, on the first day or two, people say, how come dinners are not included? And just to tell you why, there were so many wonderful, charming, quaint restaurants in both Montreal and especially Quebec. And people have so many very different tastes. Some want to have a bigger lunch, some want to have a smaller dinner or a bigger dinner. This gives you the opportunity to truly experience, whether it's crepe or faux gras, whatever it is, you have the opportunity to do that.
Yep.
Second you, Penny, right on.
By design, we give you the nights to experience the meals on your own, because sometimes we include meals and sometimes we don't. There's a method behind our madness, I'll have you know. Any questions for Penny or for Jean or for Jane? There are two ways to book your trip. One is to call this lovely lady Deb, or Jen in the office, our new travel advisor, and she's terrific. And the other is you can just book online, and that's easy enough too. And now it's time to give away our $25 gift card. And our winner is, I'm not, there's two ways I could say this, I could pronounce it, Helena Williams, either Helena or Helena Williams. Are you still on the call? Helena, yay.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Helena.
Thank
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Excellent. Well, hopefully you'll pick a great trip to use that $25 gift card on, and we will follow up tomorrow just so that you know, or in a day or two, Deb or Jim will give you a call and let you know that you have this, and you can either put it towards a trip you already have booked or put it towards a new trip, et cetera, et cetera.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. I would like to, of course, remind you all of our next Tour Tuesday, which is May 3rd, the first Tuesday in May, and we will be talking about our Maine trips. We have 4 lovely trips to Maine. We have a Maine trip to Ogunquit in May, and then we have a Maine Moosin in June. And then we have a Maine's Rocky Coast in the summer. I'm doing this by memory. And then we have a Maine's fall program.
Majestic Maine.
Which is just majestic Maine in the fall. So lots of great choices. We will have our Maine expert handy, Nancy Block. She'll be on hand. She's actually one of the guides that takes us through Maine on all of these different tours. So she is our expert, our resident expert, and we'll have some tour directors on the call, and we'll help help share Maine with all of you. So at this time, I would like to thank you all for attending. We're going to wrap it up. It was good to see so many familiar faces and a few new faces too. So thank you so much for joining us. And I'll stay on for a couple minutes if anybody wants to ask any other questions or check in, but we'll see you on May 3rd. All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Everybody.
Bye.
Everybody did a great job presenting.
Yes. Oh my
Thank
God.
you.
Thank you, Penny,
Yeah,
Jane,
it
and
was-
Jean. Thank you.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. You're
Excellent
welcome.
as usual.
Oh my God. Yes.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank
very
you.
nice.
Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Art,
Bye.
Bye, Art.